Hey everybody, thank you for joining me here at Friendship Shaving. My name is Mark, welcome to my shave today. Now, I've been loaned a couple of razors very kindly by Steve Dalton. Thank you very much, Steve, as always. This is one of them today. I have the Rex Envoy for you today. I'm going to be using a Repair Platinum Luxe in that. I'll put that together in a moment for you. The shaving soap I'm going to be using is Barrister and Mann, frankly my pear. And I'll just put that up there out of the way. I'm going to be using my little True Fit and Hill Traveller brush today, soaps on it, so I'm going to be face lathering. I will start that while I get talking about this soap. It is very pleasant. It is not an obvious pear, or rather I should rephrase that. It is an obvious pear, but it doesn't slap you about the face. It's a very nice scented soap. Apparently the owner at Barrister and Mann, his parents were bakers, and his mother used to make a pear and ginger pie, and this is his homage to that pie, I suppose. It is pear, ginger, lemon, currant with a little bit of balsamic sugar. And it is actually very nicely scented. Very nice indeed. As I say, it's not a scent for me that you would think, oh my god, that bloke smells of pear. The other scents, or the other scent notes, tone that down into just a very warm, fruity, autumny scent for me. A little bit unusual, but nevertheless quite nice. Now, I've loaded my brush for 30 seconds, and as you can see, I'm getting a heck of a lather, and I need to keep adding water. So we'll just keep doing exactly that till we get it right, perhaps. For this soap anyway, I loaded my brush for too long, but never mind. Do you know what? This is smelling very nice now. Here we go. This is looking better. So the light is a little bit strange today, so I'm sorry if getting a bit of a reflection off this side as the light from the window hits the white soap. We'll just see how that comes out on video. There we are. That's very nice. Now I have the Rex Envoy, courtesy of Steve. I have used this in a week. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Let's put a blade in. So I've decided I'm not going to waste my money. I'm going to use up the Russian blades that I have previously bought. But the way things are going, I can't see that I will ever buy any more Russian razor blades. That is just my choice. You can do whatever you choose. There we are. So we've put this in. Now I'm using a Platinum Luxe blade today because I wanted something a little more gentle than a feather or an aset, something along those lines. So we have 3-piece razor. There we are, a head and a guard plate. And the handle is cleverly designed because it screws into the bottom of the guard plate. So if you were looking to use a different handle, it might not work. But there we are, there is the razor. It is made from marine grade stainless steel 316L. And it is a fine looking razor indeed. It is comes in a smooth finish, but this isn't polished, and it has what I call knurling plus on the handle. There is no way you are going to drop this. Now, when I used it in a week, I found it was too aggressive for me to use against the grain. After that shave, I did 2 passes in the week, with the grain and against the grain. And when I went against the grain, it left me really sore. So today, I'm just going to do 2 or maybe 3 passes, but all more or less with the grain. That begs the question, doesn't it? Perhaps for a beginner who might be wondering, you know, how many passes to do? And it just all depends on how much growth you've got, what razor you're using. There is no one answer suits all, unfortunately. But this one for me feels, with the grain, a very nice, smooth, quite comfortable razor. But it is effective. It does feel, it feels nice. It's just on these parts of my neck here was just a little bit too aggressive for me. So we've adapted today, trying it a different way. But going with the grain, it's very nice to use. If you're wondering how it compares with the Rex Ambassador, which is Rex's adjustable razor, the blade gap and the exposure is set to the Ambassador's level 3. First pass, super easy, super easy. I can obviously feel I've had a very close shave. Now, I always talk about this when I talk about Rex razors, and indeed the Ambassador. I wondered if I'd been loaned a wonky one. And the reason I say that, and I say this every time I talk about them, is that I tried one. Initially I was lent one, and I thought it was fantastic. Apparently they changed the head design slightly to make it more blade positive. And the one I tried after that was just way too blade positive for me, even on the lower setting, which was setting 1. It left me sore for days. Now I know a few other people found that it was too aggressive for them, but for me, well, I've never come across a razor on the lower setting of an adjustable that gave me quite bad, well, it did give me bad razor burn. I thought it was most odd. This one, by comparison, while I feel it is a blade positive razor, and it is a fairly aggressive razor for me, somehow doesn't quite match to the level of razor burn I experienced on that other Ambassador. So suffice to say, it's too aggressive for me to use against the grain. Of course, your mileage may vary. I would say if you like a particularly effective razor, or you're a fan of an aggressive razor, then this is probably an ideal razor. It is certainly very, very nice to hold in the hand. And I've got some stats here for you. It is, as I said, marine grade stainless steel, 100% made in the USA. Now it comes out at 106 grams or 3.73 ounces. So it is a slightly heavy razor, but actually it's okay. It's not too heavy for me, and it sits about the same weight as the Ambassador, and it was designed that way on purpose. It is 88.5 millimeters high, and that is just a touch under 3.5 inches in total length. The handle is a 3-inch handle. It's actually 3.36 inches high, one of those really strange decimal inches again. It feels very comfortable in the hand, and that is due to this nice sized tapered handle, wider than usual, and it widens as you go down toward the base. It really is nice to hold, very nice indeed. And with the Knurling Plus, there's no way this is going to slip out of your hand, let me tell you, no way at all. So at the moment I'm sort of going a cross between with the grain and across the grain. I'm sort of just alternating between the two there. And actually it's an important lesson for somebody who's a beginner. You know, if you pick up a razor and you do 3 passes because you've seen somebody do that online or on a YouTube, you don't have to follow along. You know, it depends on the razor. You've got to try it out. So, you know, if you do 3 passes and you get sore, try 2. And I'm beginning to think that doing a pass with the grain and a pass against the grain is just as effective as doing a pass with the grain, across a grain and then against a grain. But obviously part of the fun is experimenting. And trying out what works for you. So I have got a blade gap on this. It is 0.02525 inches. You can work that out in millimetres. It's too much for me. These decimal inches do my head in. There we are. Now that is with the grain. I've not got it there. And there are a couple of spots like I could really do with going that way there. Everywhere else an absolutely fine shave. So it is one to experiment a little bit with for me, and perhaps before I send this back to Steve we'll have another shave with it, but just for the moment I'm going to leave that right there. Now I have wondered what aftershave out of the few that I've got are going to go with pear, ginger, lemon and currant. And I'm just going to go with Proraso White because it's got a little bit of apple in it. So we'll be apples and pears today. Yeah, I'm definitely... Oh, do you know what? That's a bit... I've got a bare naked face down here. Yeah, a little bit of care here. I maybe would have got it, but I don't want to do another pass. That's how effective this is for me. For me, you might have heavier growth or tougher skin. But definitely for me, 2 passes is just enough. So a shorter shave today, but I feel it's important to, well, to show that you can do a 2-pass shave. You know, a very effective 2-pass shave. Doesn't always have to be 3 passes. There we are, that is enough of me waffling on. I've enjoyed my shave today. I've enjoyed this soap. And I have enjoyed playing with the Rex Envoy. Lovely razor, sells for $150 US, about 125 pounds depending on the exchange rate. Beautiful razor to hold. Yeah, very nice indeed. That's my lot. Take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye now.